Since the dawn of time, mankind has searched for the answer to one question. Who is number one? Throughout history, many have risen to the challenge, pushing themselves to the peak of perfection and beyond, simply for the honour of being known as strongest under the heavens. But strength of body alone does not make a man powerful. Strength of mind, strength of heart is what separates the brutes from the warriors. And what makes such a warrior? A heart hardened by turmoil, strength through honour, a soul burning with determination to right that which was wrong? What does it take to forge a mortal man into a living weapon? Today, we shall find out as we journey from the forbidden heavenly city of Kunlun to the dirty, gritty streets of New York to witness the rise of such a warrior, Daniel Rand, the Immortal Iron Fist. Marvel premieres our living weapon with issue 15. These karate killers wanted a showdown. Now, they've got it. You are Iron Fist. You stand tensely, too tensely, aware of their eyes on you. UT, the hooded one, and his 4 Dragon Kings. And facing you, 4 others edge closer, searching for an opening, a moment of weakness, the careless flickering of an eyelid. For this is your day of destiny, Iron Fist. Today, you will eat of the fruit of the tree of immortality, or else drink deep of the elixir of death. Holy shit, page 1 and it's already kicking off. 4 karate students converge on the man in the yellow mask, and like an unheard tree in the forest, each fall without fanfare. Rock smash blow, sword hand, monkey blow, lightning kick. God, I should have learned karate as a kid, this is cool. But I thought the moves only work when you shout out the attack name. UT, a monk master known as the august personage of Jade, watches with cold eyes, not even a raised eyebrow for the young warrior. The iron-fisted fighter dispatches the rest of his competition, fueled by the anger he feels bubbling in his chest. The yellow-masked man stands alone amid the chaos caused by his own power. There is but one opponent left to defeat, but before that, the personage of Jade requests Iron Fist look inside himself to reflect on the journey that brought him here. 10 years ago, the boy that would become Iron Fist, known then as Daniel Rand, was caught up in his father's dream of discovering a lost wonder of the world, the mystical city of Kunlun. Wendell, Heather, and little Danny Rand, alongside Wendell's business partner Harold Meacham, trek across the frozen wonderland in search of something special, but the longer their search takes, the more delusional Mr. Rand seems. Suddenly, disaster! Young Danny trips and falls from the precarious ice bridge, dragging his parents down with him. All hope lies with Mr. Meacham, Wendell's business partner, old friend to the family, and if anything happened to the Rands, the sole owner of their lucrative business ventures. But even though the word chum is in his name, he's no true friend to the Rands. Harold betrays them. His snow boot spikes ensure that Wendell Rand dies a cold death, but his wife and son don't have to follow suit. Meacham offers Heather and Danny a way out of this frozen hellscape, but she'd rather die than accept help from this betrayer. She screams into the icy wind, "Let my son grow up to kill you with his own 2 hands, or let him die here, like his father." Memories give way to battle strategy as Iron Fist's final opponent arrives. This brick shithouse here, Shu-Hu. Everyone's got such cool titles in this book. Shu-Hu, he whose name means the lightning. Fist claims he must battle now, he cannot delay. And so, the final trial begins. Shu-Hu's sheer strength overpowers Iron Fist's technique. He tanks every blow and returns them tenfold. The Masters watch on as Iron Fist is almost shattered. His mind slips back once again to his origins, where the frost isn't the only thing that can bite young Danny and his mother. A pack of savage wolves hunt the mother and son across the tundra. Exhausted, cold, starving, there seems to be no hope. Until, miraculously, they find a bridge out here in the middle of nowhere. Could the legends be true? The duo spend the last of their energy, and they run. In an effort to rescue her little boy from these savage animals, Heather Rand turns around and faces the beasts head on. This woman has literally thrown herself to the wolves for the sake of young Danny, and the poor kid has to watch his own mother get shredded. Surely he's going to be their next meal anyway. Not if the monks have anything to say about it. The legend was true, at the cost of Danny's family. He is welcomed into the mythical city of Kunlun. And now, Danny Rand, Iron Fist, has a promise to keep. Driven by the rage of his lost family, the betrayal of a trusted man, and the promise he made of revenge, Iron Fist strikes like the lightning, booms like the thunder, and rains down punishment upon his opponent. Suddenly after the storm, a calmness washes over Danny, a determined focus that spells doom for Shu-Hu. He channels all his energy, his inner spiritual life force, into his fist. Now with a punch that could shatter steel, Iron Fist does exactly that, destroying the mechanical menace of Shu-Hu in a single omnipotent blow. The battle is won, the trial is over, and now Danny shall claim his prize, either eternal life or eternal death. Time marches on, and we find our steel-fingered fighter prowling the streets of New York City. What can I say? It's a Marvel comic. And why is he in New York? To fulfill a promise he made his mother long ago. To find and murder the man who destroyed his family. However, it turns out that Iron Fist himself is a target. Someone has put a contract out on anyone wearing the mark of the dragon, and these street toughs want to try and cash in. Danny Rand is already at this point one of the world's greatest warriors. He dismantles the thugs with remarkable technique and unerring precision. But Danny's mind is clouded by his anger, his lust to avenge his fallen father and mother. One of the punks lands a lucky shot. And the pain brings back the memories, the beginning of his quest, the reason he became the living weapon he is today. Revenge. He remembers his training, long years studying under Master Kung. Cool master dude. A decade of living and breathing martial arts hardened the kid into what he is today. Hang on, he made him steal a crown from a snake. Poor snake just wants his hat back. No what? Between this and the murder plot thing, Iron Fist could have very easily been a villain. The dark memories pass as Iron Fist tears his foes to shreds, leaving them barely able to limp away. But Daniel cannot limp away from the pain of his past. These skills, these fighting techniques, they're not enough. He needs to ascend, to go beyond. August Personage and Jade knows of one trial that just might carve a man out of the boy before him, provided he survive. Go and kill this friggin' dragon. A serpent king known as Shao Lao the Undying holds the key to the Iron Fist technique. But to get it, Danny must reach into the beast's very heart. All of Danny's kung fu attacks did nothing to this monster, but one weak spot stood out on the serpent. The dragon scar where its heart used to be, pulsating with otherworldly power. Danny grabs on tight, ignoring the beast's burning attacks as he blocks off the energy of the undying dragon. Shao Lao is stripped of his power, and Danny Rand receives the burning scar himself, alongside the unstoppable power of the Iron Fist. Another challenger, a new assassin, the sinister Scythe. And with his chain and blade, he will have the Karate King's head. Danny is a weapon, but someone skilled enough with their own favourite tool might still outmatch the Iron Fist. Scythe wraps the weighted ball around Rand's throat. Is it already over? But first, another flashback. After emerging victorious in the trials of Kunlun, the august personage in Jade offers Danny a choice. Eat the immortal fruit and live amongst the Kunlunians forever, or return to the world of man from whence he came. Kunlun is only accessible from Earthrealm once a decade, and tomorrow, that fateful day is upon us. Danny chooses to return to Earth to avenge his parents and to use what he has learned for bloodthirsty revenge. Also, Jade drops a cheeky plot twist in that he was Danny's uncle all along. Crazy dude, but not really relevant. Is Danny fueled by flashbacks or what? Reinvigorated and enraged by his past ordeals, Fist fights furiously. He uses the precision of Scythe's own blade to calculate his location, and then he kicks some ass, summoning his greatest power. A single punch from the Iron Fist declaws Scythe for good, and the panicking assassin reveals who set the bounty. Guess you'll never guess. Harold Meacham, Rand's decade-old nemesis. Fist leaves Scythe trembling on the ground as he ponders his confrontation with Meacham. Will he scream? Will he cry? Will he beg? Or at that point, will he even care at all? Citadel on the Edge of Vengeance. That's like the sickest name for a story I've ever heard, dude. Hang on, a page this cool deserves a dramatic reading. You stand before the towering skyscraper, dwarfed by it in size, but not spirit. You have battled and defeated time, distance, assassins, the berserker called Scythe. And now, you are ready to confront the man named Harold Meacham, the man who waits within the gleaming steel citadel before you. The man who murdered your father. The man who caused you to become Iron Fist. And the man whose projected death is the sole reason for your existence as Iron Fist. Finally, Iron Fist has reached his target. He has reached the ghastly headquarters of Meacham Industries, the building that used to emblazon the name of Rand. He has reached vengeance. Cold memories again assault Fist's focus. His father, fallen to his death. The smugness on Meacham's face as he tore Danny's life from him. The ding of the elevator snaps Rand back to now. Back to his mission. All is quiet on the floor, but silence does not mean peace. The entire top level of Meacham's final fortress is booby-trapped like the jaws of a lion. Razor-tipped blades erupt from the walls, forcing Iron Fist to move like a jaguar and strike like a tiger. But while swords are slow, not even the greatest students of Kunlun can outspeed a bullet. But a bullet without a cannon to fire it is merely scrap metal. Iron Fist obliterates the machine guns with his bare hands, mate. Daniel is now furious, and I'm not just on about his fists. He raises a piece of the destroyed trap in anger. But he is met with calmness. The door he was about to bash in gently opens to him, inviting, easy, suspicious. Another trap! Laser beams blast the chunk of steel to slag, but Iron Fist is not yet weary enough in body or mind to fall for such a thing. Again, without using his focused chi powers, the living weapon destroys the obstacle between him and his target. No technology, no matter how sophisticated, will keep him from his goal. Fine then, let it be man who kills man. Innocent businessmen smoke in shared silence, but as we should have learned by now, nothing in the Meacham building is innocent. These professional hitmen draw their guns and fire at the kung fu fighter, but all their experience and execution couldn't prepare them for the fists of fury. Faster than the eye can follow, the blare of yellow and green shatters any hope of victory for these goons. The next trap springs as a solid steel door blocks Fist from any retreat, but he wouldn't dream of quitting now. Corrosive acid showers upon our Kunlun legend, pushing him into a hasty escape as his cool costume burns alongside his flesh. But even in the Citadel's storm of chaos, Rand keeps a calm mind. He knows a trick when he sees one, dodging a one-way trip to the ground floor. Oh, hang on, Danny, mate. I get that you're new in the city, but New York's already got a wall crawler? This man is a machine. Is he even out of breath yet? He smashes his way back to solid footing, but even without a spider sense, Danny knows he's not alone. A glimmer in the darkness. The light reflected upon a deadly blade. Is that a friggin' ninja dude? How cool is this comic book? Mind your surroundings, Daniel-san. Another trap, and this one seems to actually work. Almost. Danny's iron fingers hold on for dear life. Is this how his father felt, he wonders, all those years ago? Without a Meacham to make him fall, this Rand pulls himself to safety. Well, actually, I don't know if I call it safety, because another trap is sprung. Has Meacham designed his killing flaws to evoke the memories of Danny's traumatic past? A starving wolf slobbers and snarls at Fist, but he takes it down in one punch. But hang on, how did the ninja and the wolf know this is the room Danny would re-enter the building on? And also, how does Meacham know that Iron Fist has a dragon tattoo and that he's coming to kill him? Who cares, he's just one-bombed a wolf. Iron Fist rules. Danny enters the elevator, only to be met with, you guessed it, another trap. Toxic gas spurts out of the ceiling, and now he's trapped in this tiny metal box. But the son of the dragon is never a sitting duck. Using his focused chi energy, the groggy Iron Fist smashes the steel cage to bits, only to find he's on a collision course. He's almost crushed between the two steel elevators. But the Iron Fist punches his way out once again. Right, how suspicious is this fella? What, he didn't hear the bang and clang of metal punching metal? This time, the silence is sinister. The janitor draws his hidden blade. Another assassin! Both raise their weapons, one forged from metal, one forged from revenge. Both forged in fire. They do that absolutely cool as hell thing where both strike and then neither moves. Silence again, not even a breath. Whose attack won? Who is victorious? With a choke, the swordsman assassin falls. One final door stands between Daniel Rand and the man who stole his life. The anticipation swallows Rand's strategic mindset as from the shadows, the ninja strikes. But rather than take Iron Fist's life, the ninja saves it by destroying an unseen final trap before vanishing as silently as he had appeared. But this is not the time for reflection. This is the time for revenge. But the final threat within the Citadel on the edge of vengeance is not Harold Meacham, it's this new god-looking son of a bitch. His name? Triple Iron. His task? Kill the Iron Fist. You stand, poised in shock, instinctively assuming the defensive cat stance, and you listen as your bizarre opponent speaks to you.
Know this, Iron Fist. The costume I wear and the very room in which we stand combine to a greater end than merely granting me my power. They also bind me prisoner to a task, and only by completing that task will I be freed. The task, Iron Fist, is your murder. And believe me, I wish to be free.
Iron Fist has battled man, he's battled machine, and now he must face an unholy combination of both. The deadly dynamo Triple Iron, a huge cybernetic warrior wielding a triple nunchuck staff, has been enslaved by Meacham for a decade, and he now hungers for freedom. Freedom only earned by killing Iron Fist. Triple Iron claims to have been waiting for Iron Fist's arrival for almost 10 years, so Meacham must have known eventually someone would come for him. Rand's kung fu is useless against this mechanical maniac. Even the legendary Iron Fist technique falls short. This villain's sole purpose is to assassinate the Iron Fist, and so he charges up his energy staff. But Daniel's come too far to fall now. He explodes forward, fist glowing with power. Triple Iron crashes through a wall and gives away the ace up his sleeve by revealing this room keeps his dynamo form buzzing. As long as the warriors fight on this battlefield, Triple Iron will never run out of steam. Trapped in his foe's fortress of perpetual energy, surely this is the end of the Iron Fist. But then, the Shadow Ninja from earlier strikes out again, but he doesn't strike to kill. A throwing star embeds itself beside Rand, revealing a hidden door and the one chance the man has at escaping this trap. The Citadel's control room, the triggers for all the weapons Iron Fist has triumphed over on his rampage. But hot on his heels, Triple Iron lunges. Iron Fist supercharges the supervillain, using damaged wiring to short out Triple Iron's circuitry. But this mountainous man's defeat at Danny's hand does not deny him the freedom he hungers for, because now the final obstacle has fallen. Triple Iron's master shall be the next to crumble. Harold Meacham invites in his assassin. This is the man who murdered Danny's father in cold blood, whose actions condemned Danny's mother, whose evil, greed and selfishness forged Rand into the living weapon he is today. With the spectres of his parents screaming him on, Daniel Rand, the Iron Fist, comes face to face with the man who stole his life. But that fateful expedition had cost Harold dearly as well. Not just his legs either. Meacham has been living in fear, waiting for the day his sins caught up to him. But how could he know that the Rand boy still even lived? Harold gives his side of the story. He had genuinely loved Danny's mother Heather, but her heart had belonged to Wendell. She could never love his murderer, and so Meacham left the two to die in the snow. Killing a man had hardened Harold, made him feel invincible, but he was reminded of his fragility when he got lost on his now solo trek back to civilization. What an idiot. Starving and delirious, a blizzard swallowed the man whole. Fortunately for him, he was saved at the foot of the mountain by the locals. Well, half of him was saved anyway. During long months of healing from his ice-cold ordeal, the small town became abuzz with word from the mythical city of Kunlun. Its once-a-decade crossover with the Realm of Earth had just ended, but not before spreading the legend of an American boy learning under the wing of the masters of the Heavenly City. A boy whose parents' lives were claimed by the mountain, sounding familiar. Meacham's actions had birthed a warrior, and the man knew the name of his future murderer, Daniel Rand, the Iron Fist. Now, Harold accepts his death. In fact, he welcomes it. He's wasted his life living in fear of this day, but knowing this man's story draws out something unexpected in Danny. Pity. Wasting his life like this was punishment enough. Fist goes to leave, but Meacham will wait for death no longer. He pulls out a gun. Harold Meacham will die today. He blasts at Danny, knocking him groggy with a graze to the head, but suddenly, the shadows once again come to life with sinister Shaolin purpose. The Shadow Ninja, who's twice saved Danny's life, grants Harold Meacham's wish. Meacham is murdered, ran through with a sword, and his assassin makes an impossible escape through the window 24 floors up. The cycle of revenge begins anew. Meacham's daughter discovers her father's corpse, believing Iron Fist to be the killer. His protests fall on deaf ears, but perhaps he did murder Harold Meacham after all. He may have not struck the killing blow, but Rand's quest for revenge certainly led to this outcome. Just like Danny all those years ago, a child swears upon their father's ghost that he shall be avenged. through fists or wills of iron. Holy shit, dude, this was so badass. Reading it gave me a mustache. Iron Fist is friggin' awesome, man. His quest for revenge tore through an absolute gauntlet of evil. Thugs, traps, supervillains all fell before Fist and his righteous fury. What was the deal with the samurai janitor? Did you notice they didn't even have to explain half the crazy cool shit that happened? It spoke for itself, it was there because it's friggin' cool. Who was Triple Iron? Who the hell cares, dude? He's standing in Iron Fist's way. Kick his ass. This would have made an incredible action movie back in the 80s. Get Jackie Chan in as the August personage in Jade, Stallone as Scythe, Arnold as Triple Iron, Clint Eastwood as Harold Meacham. We've missed out here, dude. The writers of this masterpiece, Roy Thomas and I think it's pronounced Doug Moench, clearly love the kung fu aesthetic and they did a banger job forging their own karate character. Yet still, so many questions unanswered. Who was the mysterious ninja that thrice saved the life of Iron Fist? How will a Meacham daughter exact her revenge upon Daniel Rand? Where did the monks of Kunlun get a robot? Oh. Overall, I loved his story of revenge and how he learned it really wasn't what he wanted in the end. I loved his backstory of learning to fight and battling a friggin' dragon, dude. I love the costume, it's like a simple karate-gi type of thing, but I especially love the mask. Look at that bad boy, dude. It's kinda Spider-Man-like, but you can see the burning fire of his eyes as he prepares to kick your ass right in. Overall, I friggin' loved it.